thank you very much for staying with us here on the Business Breakfast on Zed. The song in the background is Pentacle Praise Tribute by CC Beidou. Very powerful tune. It's got all the powerful praise songs that we sing in church. The very last one says, Amiche Obutambi. When you lean on the rock, the solid rock of God, you can never fall. Well, thank you very much. Before we had Lukman Evergreen Mumi with Sports Flash, and also Samuela Nchi came your way with business news. Now it's time for us to get into Business Brief this morning. And I'm going to share something very important with you. Please stay tuned.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
Right, let's get into today's conversation here on the Business Brief segment on the Business Breakfast on Zed. Now, we're talking about education and employment in Ghana. Why are so many graduates jobless? Now, this is one of the biggest challenges Ghana is facing right now. And every year, thousands of students graduate from our universities, polytechnics, and technical institutions full of hope. But many of them spend years searching for jobs that simply do not exist. And the big question is why? Is it because there aren't enough jobs? Is it because our education system isn't preparing students for the real world? Or is it that employers are simply not hiring? Let's break it down. Now, every year, Ghana produces over 100,000 graduates from various universities. But the job market cannot absorb even half of them. Now, according to the Ghana Statistical Service, the youth unemployment rate is about 14.7%, with many of them being graduates. Now, the 2023 Ghana Living Standards Survey showed that over 50% of unemployed Ghanaians are degree holders. Over 50% of unemployed Ghanaians are degree holders. A report by the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research, ISE, found that only 10% of graduates find jobs in their first year after school. So if you pick 100 students, only 10%. The rest struggle for years. So what exactly is causing this crisis? Many people say our education system still focuses more on theory than practical skills. Many students graduate with degrees but lack hands-on experience in their fields. Too much theory, not enough practical training. So many graduates leave school without real job experience because internships and industrial attachments are not really well structured, unless maybe you're in the nursing and all of that. But if you go to the mainstream university education, degree education, then internships are not really structured. They're not well structured. And for some people, for some institutions, they are not a requirement. And so students go through the 4-year education without any experience, really. Now, employers complain also that graduates lack soft skills like problem solving, communication, teamwork, and leadership. Another key issue is that many courses are outdated. The world is moving towards tech, AI, digital skills, but many universities are still teaching old syllabuses that don't match markets, the industry needs as of now. For example, a student graduates with a degree in marketing, but has never run a social media campaign or used digital marketing tools like Google Ads before. Or a business administration graduate doesn't know how to write a proper CV or to pitch an idea to an investor. What is the result? Employers prefer people with experience, and graduates without these practical skills struggle to compete. Now, another big reason graduates are jobless is the economy itself. There simply aren't enough jobs. to absorb the number of graduates coming out of school every year. And also, the private sector is struggling. High taxes, inflation, high cost of doing business. And that means that many companies can't afford to hire more people. And so you go to certain companies, one person is doing like 4 jobs. Yeah, a job meant for 4 people. One person is taking up that. And also, the public sector is full. Government institutions are already overstaffed. And there are very few openings. And even we've heard rumors that the public sector employment has been frozen. Now, in 2021, for example, the Ghana Education Service received over 40,000 applications for just 6,500 teaching jobs. 40,000. Another example is that the Ministry of Health received thousands of applications for a few hundred nursing positions. Clearly, there are far more job seekers than available jobs. Now, for years, many graduates have been conditioned to believe that a good job means working in the government. But the reality is that the government cannot employ everyone. And that is a very big issue. Because government payroll is already full. Even Finance Minister back then said that government payroll is choked. And many graduates refuse to work in other fields because they feel government jobs offer more security than private jobs. But here's a reality. In developed countries, the private sector creates more jobs than the government. If Ghana's economy is going to grow, we need to shift our mindset and start looking at new opportunities. Also, in Ghana, entrepreneurship is often seen as a last resort, when in reality, it should be the first option. Well, that's what I think. Of course, the government back then launched the NEIP, which is a National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, also used that. But many young people still didn't have the right skills. And as of now, the current finance minister has announced that they are cancelling or they are probably reassigning those roles to other places. We hope that it works this time. Also, access to business funding is a huge problem. Many young entrepreneurs don't have capital or financial support to start businesses. For example, in countries like Kenya and Nigeria, many young people are turning to agri-tech, fintech, and e-commerce. But in Ghana, many of our graduates still focus on only traditional white-collar jobs. And that is a problem. So if Ghana is going to reduce graduate unemployment, we need to create more businesses and not just look for jobs. All right, so we know the problem. Too many graduates, not enough jobs, and a system that doesn't prepare students for the real world. But what's the way forward? We need to reform the education system. Universities need to introduce more practical training and internships. Schools should teach soft skills like communication, leadership, and entrepreneurship. And every degree program should have a compulsory internship and hands-on training. Also, we must invest in job-creating sectors. The government needs to focus on industries that create jobs like agriculture and agribusiness, technology and digital economy, manufacturing and processing. We must also change the mindset on entrepreneurship. Graduates should start seeing business ownership as a real option instead of just chasing government jobs. We need more business incubators, startup funding, and mentorship programs to help young entrepreneurs succeed. And maybe finally, we need to strengthen the private sector. The government should reduce the cost of doing business so that companies can expand and hire more people. If private companies grow, they will create more jobs for graduates. So, maybe my final thoughts. Ghana's unemployment crisis won't be solved overnight. We all agree. But we must start making some changes now. Education must be more practical. Private sector must grow to create more jobs. Young people must embrace entrepreneurship and self-employment. But the real question is, are we willing to change our mindsets or take action? Or will we keep complaining about lack of jobs? That is a conversation we'll be having today later in our roundtable discussion. But this is all I brought to you this morning for Business Brief. We move on to transport today, where Solomon Tetenate tells us the traffic situation in town and also the flight schedules. Please stay tuned.
This is the pre-boarding announcement for flight 3728.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engines running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Well, thank you very much for staying with us here on the Business Breakfast on Zed with me, Ni Trebi Hammond. Solomon Tetanate is seated, ready to bring us all the details. Solo, good morning.
Good morning, Ni.
How are you doing?
I'm good. What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. I like your polo shirt.
I also like your shirt. You are flying today.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, tell us what's happening today.
All right, so let's look at the traffic situation in town. The flight schedules first before the traffic situation. So I'm starting with the flight schedules, and I'm starting with Passion Air.
Right.
The flight schedules, how it is for today, Friday. You know, today being Friday, people will go outside Accra to, go and chill and all that. So I think this will be of importance to them. So Passion Air Accra to Kumasi, you have 6 flights available today. If you are going to Kumasi, then you can catch off any of these flights. So first flight takes off from Accra 6:20 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 7 a.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 7:30 a.m. and gets to Accra at 8:10 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 8:50 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 9:30 a.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 10 a.m. and gets to Accra at 10:40 a.m. Third flight takes off from Accra 11:20 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 12 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 12:30 p.m. and gets to Accra at 1:10 p.m. Fourth flight takes off from Accra 1:50 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 2:30 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 3 p.m. and gets to Accra at 3:40 p.m. Fifth flight takes off from Accra 4:20 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 5 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 5:30 p.m. and gets to Accra at 6:10 p.m. And then the last flight for Accra to Kumasi, Passion Air, takes off from Accra 7:20 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 8:10 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 8:30 p.m. and gets to Accra at 9:20 p.m. So that is for Accra to Kumasi Passion Air. Accra to Takrady Passion Air, we have 2 flights available today. First flight takes off from Accra 6:20 a.m. and then arrives in Takrady at 7:10 a.m. and then takes off from Takrady 7:40 a.m. and gets to Accra at 8:30 a.m. Second flight, and that's the last flight for Passion Air Accra to Takrady, takes off from Accra 4:40 p.m. and then arrives in Takrady at 5:30 p.m. and then takes off from Takrady 5:50 p.m. and gets to Accra at 6:40 p.m. Accra to Sunyani Passion Air, we have 2 flights available today. First flight takes off from Accra 9:10 a.m. and then arrives in Sunyani at 10:10 a.m. and then takes off from Sunyani 10:40 a.m. and gets to Accra at 11:40 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 1:50 p.m. and then arrives in Sunyani at 2:50 p.m. and then takes off from Sunyani 3:10 p.m. and gets to Accra at 4:10 p.m. So that is Accra to Sunyani. Accra to Wa Passion Air, we have 1 flight available today, and it takes off from Accra 9:40 a.m. and then arrives in Wa at 11:20 a.m. and then takes off from Wa 11:40 a.m. and gets to Accra at 1:20 p.m. So that is Wa to Accra to Wa. Accra to Tamale, we have 2 flights available today. So first flight takes off from Accra 6 a.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 7:20 a.m. and then takes off from Tamale 7:50 a.m. and gets to Accra at 9:10 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 12:20 p.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 1:40 p.m. and then takes off from Tamale 2:10 p.m. and then arrives in Accra at 3:30 p.m. and then the last flight takes off from Accra 4 p.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 5:20 p.m. and then takes off from Tamale 5:50 p.m. and gets to Accra at 7:10 p.m. Let's look at Africa World Airlines Accra to Kumasi. We have 7 flights available today for Africa World Airlines. First flight takes off from Accra 6:20 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 7 a.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 7:30 a.m. and gets to Accra at 8:10 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 8:40 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 9:20 a.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 9:50 a.m. and gets to Accra at 10:30 a.m. Third flight takes off from Accra 11:40 a.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 12:20 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 12:50 p.m. and gets to Accra at 1:30 p.m. Fourth flight takes off from Accra 2:10 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 2:50 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 3:20 p.m. and gets to Accra at 4 p.m. Fifth flight takes off from Accra 4:30 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 5:10 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 5:40 p.m. and gets to Accra at 6:20 p.m. and then the last flight for Africa World Airlines Accra to Kumasi takes off from Accra 7 p.m. and then arrives in Kumasi at 7:40 p.m. and then takes off from Kumasi 8:10 p.m. and gets to Accra at 8:50 p.m. Accra to Takoradi, Africa World Airlines, you have 3 flights available today. Africa World Airlines Accra to Takoradi. First flight takes off from Accra 6:40 a.m. and then arrives in Takoradi at 7:20 a.m. and then takes off from Takoradi 7:50 a.m. and gets to Accra at 8:30 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 2:10 p.m. and then arrives in Takoradi at 2:50 p.m. and then takes off from Takoradi 3:20 p.m. and gets to Accra at 4 p.m. and then third flight takes off from Accra 4:30 p.m. and then arrives in Takoradi at 5:10 p.m. and then takes off from Takoradi 5:40 p.m. and gets to Accra at 6:20 p.m. Accra to Tamale, Africa World Airlines, we have 5 flights available today. First flight takes off from Accra 6:30 a.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 7:30 a.m. and then takes off from Tamale 8 a.m. and gets to Accra at 9 a.m. Second flight takes off from Accra 9:30 a.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 10:30 a.m. and then takes off from Tamale 11 a.m. and gets to Accra at 12 p.m. Third flight takes off from Accra 12:30 p.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 1:30 p.m. and then takes off from Tamale 2 p.m. and gets to Accra at 3 p.m. Fourth flight takes off from Accra 2:20 p.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 3:20 p.m. and then takes off from Tamale 3:50 p.m. and gets to Accra at 4:50 p.m. and then the last flight for Africa World Airlines Accra to Tamale takes off from Accra 3:30 p.m. and then arrives in Tamale at 4:30 p.m. and then takes off from Tamale 5 p.m. and gets to Accra at 6 p.m. So, Nitrebi, that's all for the flight schedules today.
Right.
Let's look at the traffic situation in town. And when you look at Medina Market to Ogbojo, the road that leads to Ogbojo from Medina Market to Ogbojo or Boche, there is massive traffic from the Medina Market to this bank, EcoBank. Yeah, so there's massive traffic over there from Medina Market to EcoBank. If you are using the routes leading to Ogbojo or Boche. So let's take note of that. And then Pig Farm, the Achimota Road joining 37. So from Pig Farm past Accra Girls to Kaukudi, there's also traffic over there at the moment that we should take critical note of that. And then Nungwa Beach Drive, the Teshi Road. There's also from Nungwa to Teshi, there's also traffic over there at the moment that we should take note of. And then when you're coming from Kumasi, from Amasaman Stadium Junction to Amasaman Hospital, there's also traffic over there at the moment that we should take note of. And then let's look at Ashaman Tema. So from Afariwa Junction to Sanko 4 Junction, there's also traffic over there that we should take note of. This morning from West Mall, the traffic is building up. It's too early, so we should also take note. It's building up at the moment. There's no massive traffic, but it's building up, so we should also take note of that. So that is the traffic situation in town. Spirit Airlines exits bankruptcy with $795 million debt reduction and fresh funding. So over some time, Spirit Airlines are struggling with debt issues, and then yesterday they announced that they have finally exit from the bankruptcy. So Spirit Airlines announced that it emerged from its financial restructuring process, completing the voluntary transaction that equitized around $795 million of debt. So as a result, with significant less debt and greater financial flexibility, Spirit Airlines has now emerged as a stronger company positioned for long-term success, according to the airlines. So the airline also received $350 million equity investment from existing investors to support its customer experience initiative. Right. So that is coming from Spirit Airlines. And then, American Airlines, experienced some fire or burning from their jet. Yeah. And it's so amazing how it happened. So it was... their jet was flying to Texas, and then because the crew is notified or saw some engine vibration, they have to divert to Denver, and immediately the airline, landed. There was fire. It catch some fire, or it caused some fire.
But have you heard anything in line with whether they lost some lives or something?
Oh no, there has not been any serious. So according to the airline, there has not been any serious injuries. But 12 people have been sent to hospital for minor injuries. Yes, and according to the airline, there were 172 people on board, but only 12 people are experiencing minor injuries that has been sent to the hospital. So investigation has begun, and let's look what will come out of it. So that's from the American Airlines, and that's all for transport today.
Right. Because I saw a picture of the people, and they were standing on the wing of the airplane. I
also had the privilege to watch the video.
I watched the
video. Some of the workers at the airport took videos and then started circulating it on the media. So I had the privilege to watch the video, and it was serious. It was so serious. But we thank God, no loss. Life was lost.
No life was lost. Right. Thank you, Solo. We're grateful that you brought us a transport situation today. We're grateful. Well, we'll continue our show this morning here on the Business Breakfast, 5 minutes to 8, and we're going to go into our market trends. Just before that, we'll take a quick break. When we return, Emmanuel Boateng will join me, and then we'll have conversations.
Stole you turn me down. It's hard time you fell in love. The right one, don't you turn me down. Nobody there, money born on it. Nobody there, money born on it. Nobody there, nobody there, nobody there.
101.9 FM.
Ring, ring, I did bell, you know the biz me. You still got the ring I got for you, do you miss me? Are you still a miss, or you became a missus? I'm trapped by nostalgia, I think I jump in kisses. Ever so nice to me, you pulled a heist to me. I'm trying to buy my hearts back, name a price for me. Married to this heart tickets, getting our cake. Did you get my flowers, and the red velvet cupcakes? You are the one, you still the one, you still my son, now then why should I? See my main thing, so a painting that I did of you. Told them man, shut up. You and me together, completeness. You stole, now I'm not whole, I'm a complete mess. Other samba, change my demeanor. How do I make you come? Hey, by court subpoena. Even though I'm in despair, I cannot despair. Even if now she's someone misses, I still miss her. Come back, can cure my depression. I know I sound bitter like the Ghana with comment section. Her silver tongue, it was a gun, it's all she brung. I still gave it all up. My beautiful fiafito. Tell me, have you seen her?
Una mitad machula, una mitad machula. Una mitad machula, 'cause I stay hard away. Una mitad machula, una mitad machula. Una mitad machula, 'cause I stay hard away.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio. It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
Right, welcome back. It's in a soul featuring Manifest Julo Fiafeto. But in this case, they're talking about stealing of heart. So when somebody steals your heart, the person is a thief. Right, anyway. Well, if you're looking to own your own house in just 2 years with no interest repayment, then Lakeside Estates has got you covered. They're giving you an exclusive offer. One that comes with affordable payments, flexible home purchase plan, quality homes and lifestyle choice. And also you get to choose from a variety of beautiful homes in any of the Lakeside Hills clusters. Now just imagine living in a home you love with the freedom to invest in your dreams without the burden of interest. Think about it. Well, of course, as your CIMG Real Estate Company of the Year for the 4th time, we offer you hassle-free home acquisition at Lakeside Estate. All you have to do is to call us today on 020-477-5042, 020-477-5042, or 020-477-5040, 020-477-5040. Or 050-1418-622, 050-1418-622. So don't miss out on this incredible opportunity. Call us now to learn more and schedule a tour of our available homes. Well, Lakeside Estates, quality home for all. own your dream home in just 2 years with no interest repayment.
It's your lifestyle, leisure, and business radio.
Zed 101.9 FM.
And of course, it's still Ghana Month on Zed. From the 1st to 31st of March 2025, Z 101.9 FM, we are celebrating Ghana Month in grand style. So join us as we embark on a month-long filled with education, insightful stories, and engaging conversations. Conversations that highlight the rich history, the culture, and the achievements of our beloved Ghana. So every single day, we'll be joined by key influencers, thought leaders, and experts who share their perspective. Who will share their perspectives on Ghana's development, innovation, and global contributions. All of that with a simple focus of showcasing our resilience and success. Well, and also the spirit of unity that binds us as a nation. So join us on Z 101.9 FM for an exciting and enriching experience while we celebrate what makes us proud to be Ghanaians. Oftentimes when we start the month of March, people are concerned and they pay attention to the Ghana Month conversations. But as we get into the month, they tend to forget. Well, it's not like that with us here on Z 101.9 FM. So make sure you get involved. You can join us on our social media platforms at ZFMGH on Instagram, Facebook, and X with the hashtag Ghana Month on Zed. Hashtag Ghana Month on Zed. Or you can visit www.zmultimedia.com or read the Finder newspaper for more. The new Finder newspaper. You can also listen to us live on radio.zmultimedia.com. Radio.zmultimedia.com. So stay tuned, stay informed, and let's celebrate Ghana together on all of our shows. From Business Breakfast on Zed, the brighter side, through to all the shows that we have here on the business. Here on Zed Multimedia. Z 101.9 FM.
I gotta make this though, gotta start this though, baby. I cry me there, no be easy, oh. Let me cry me, baby, day, or do you want to, or do miniwa, oh. Unim say miniwa, or do unim say miniwa, or do miniwa, oh. Unim say miniwa, oh. Or do unim say miniwa. I've been on these tours. Back home right now, I need directions to yours. Your perfection and flaws, infectious and more. My eye gets, I don't go rest yet. Trap me with your claws, you're missed. Understood, you can't be misunderstood. You're so clear, I'm your Frank Underwood. Your needs, I won't undermine, never put them under mine. Soon come, darling, I'll be on top, down the line. And I mean that shit, I ain't say it just to rhyme. Don't say fuck you and say it's just a line. I cry we did, you know, say your boy for grind. No fit stop the time, but running through stop signs. You the bell, and I know they pick up sometimes. Bye, baby girl, sick of you, I see the sunshine. So when it's overcast, make you know they overvex. I'll be back before long, send it in the text. Cheating, but I did a studio all weekend. Smoke breaks, so I know that my clothes weaken. Or they'll fight me these beat breaks while I'm eating. No sleep, dive deep. I see you keep. But you see the move, I don't want to see defeat. Wanna catch time, although I'll book a suite. So we can catch flights and feelings, ego sweet. Trust that I'm honest to you. Will never make an empty promise to you. It's only right I pen sonnets for you. Every song I write, darling, is an homage to you.
Well, Miniwa Manifest featuring King Promise. And welcome to our market trend segment here on the Business Breakfast. It's 8:07, and this is Business Breakfast on Zed. Now, today we're going to dive into the financial pulse of Ghana. We're going to explore the key insights from the latest Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor report. Now, this report highlights the financial behaviors, challenges, and opportunities shaping the lives of working Ghanaians. And it is very, very important that we have this conversation. And so we have over the phone lines Emmanuel Boateng, our economic analyst here, and we'll be discussing the trends driving financial decision making, the challenges that persist, and the opportunities that lie ahead. So stay with us as we get into that. Ima, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good, Nitrabi. How about you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well myself. Thank you very much for making time to join me this morning. Maybe we should start from a basic background of the report. I mean, as I've already indicated, it's a report that tells us what Ghanaian, it gives us an understanding of the working Ghanaian market, uncovering some financial attitudes, some perceptions, and the behavior in the informal and formal sectors. And so that is what we are discussing this morning. Now, Ima, first of all, the report indicates that only 22% of Ghanaians are confident in the economy. And maybe just so that we are on the right track, there's a 2024 report, and so it's about what has gone on from 2023 to 2024. Yeah, and probably we'll look into something towards 2025 as well. But the report indicates that only 22% of Ghanaians are confident in the economy. Now, though this is an improvement from 17% in 2023, I want to know what key factors are driving this low confidence.
Thank you so much. The cost of living in Ghana is still high, and our economic growth has been sluggish due to our debt servicing obligations, because money that we could have used for some investment in the productive sectors of the economy is rather being used to service our accumulated debt. Our debt stock, it's not the highest we have ever seen, but it is also it is still within the high levels. And so that is one key thing that is driving this low confidence in the Ghanaian economy by the Ghanaian population and investor community. Not only that, the issue of our currency depreciation is also another key thing that, as it were, is driving this low confidence in the Ghanaian economy as we have it. Depreciation of our currency impacts directly a number of Ghanaian businesses who import into the country for their production, among other things. And so once the currency depreciates, what that will mean is that their financing cost or cost of operation, financing cost and cost of operation goes up, and that affects their bottom line profitability. And so for such businesses, this would be a major concern. Once your profit is being affected, employees are also being affected in some way. They may not see an increase in salaries corresponding to, as it were, the changing dynamics within the economy, including inflation, which erodes their income, among other things. So you can look at it from this lens and understand why.
Right.
Some Ghanaians also have some investments in Forex and the rest of them. A depreciating currency does not help them. And a depreciating currency in itself affects the general economy. And that is why that also becomes a key driver of the low confidence in the Ghanaian economy. Another factor worth noting is the high unemployment rate. You see, that is something that is worrying. I'm sure you've seen many reports where, this is how some conclude. The easiest way to be unemployed in Ghana is to go to the university. It is as though as you come out of the university, there is no available work or job for you to do. And so unemployment is also a big issue. And given the methodology deployed in this study, it only stands to reason why this will be a key driving force. In a nutshell, the low confidence in Ghana's economy is primarily driven by a stagnant growth predicated by debt servicing obligations and currency depreciation, a high inflation predicated by currency depreciation and food inflation, and governance challenges which result in unemployment. However, the slight improvement you see is 22%. Last year it was 17%. And so that suggests that some economic policies such as the debt restriction and monetary policy interventions may have restored some faith in economic stability. So although we've seen a 5 percentage point increase in the confidence in our economy, that increase is not sufficient to offset the low level of this confidence. And so, yes, generally, the confidence is low, and these are the reasons that underpin it.
Now, despite all these challenges that you've mentioned, debt servicing, currency depreciation, high unemployment, 61%, according to a report, 61% of Ghanaians believe that the economy will improve in the next 12 months. So that's from January to December. What indicators support this optimism?
I think primarily what you are actually asking is that 40% of Ghanaians do not believe that the economy will improve in the next 12 months. So all those 60% believe the economy would improve. There's a 40% of Ghanaians do not believe. So 50%, yes, that represents majority. But I think the 40% who do not believe is also concerning. But well, to your question, the optimism would likely stem from expected improvements in business opportunities, better job prospects, and increased investment awareness. Many Ghanaians believe that by investing in businesses, saving more, and exploring new income-generating opportunities, their financial situation will improve. And that is exactly what the report alludes to. Additionally, government programs aimed at economic stabilization and international financial aid could be reinforcing positive expectations. I must also add that maybe, as it were, generally at the time of this study, the people may have sensed a change in government, and that could also impact how they see the economy would perform in the next year or in this fiscal year. And that is, there's a new government in town. Once there are fresh hands on the wheel, everybody expects that at least in that year or the next, things will go well. That could also be a major factor that is
influencing that. Right. Now, but how has inflation and the high cost of living actually affected consumer spending habits in Ghana?
Very well. The high cost of living in Ghana has led to increased borrowing from informal sources. A high cost of living would simply mean that it costs you more to sustain your quality of life, where your quality of life would, among many other things, include food, shelter, and clothing, your basic wants or your basic needs. Now, the point is that if it costs you a lot of money to be able to patronize these basic necessities of life and sustain the quality of your life, then that is a problem. And inflation is a major pass-through, or is a major lens through which you can gauge your quality of life or the cost of living, or as it were, the standard of living, because the cost of living and the standard of living have a direct relationship. Now, we also see a shift toward multiple income streams and greater emphasis on savings. You see, people are cutting down on non-essential expenses, and they are prioritizing financial security. You see, although many people in the country are financially stressed, they are turning to trusted financial habits, such as saving through susu groups and seeking high return investments rather than dipping into savings. And it just gives you an idea. You see, when inflation is high, when the cost of living is high, people do not want to use the money they have just on their lives. In other words, just to balance out or maintain the cost or beat the cost in the market. No, they are rather channeling their money into some investment, opportunities that they find around. And you can understand that because they are optimistic that in the coming year, the country's economic performance will rebound.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's shift our attention. There are a few other things that report highlights. Let's shift our attention to income and employment trends. Now, income security remains the top financial priority for Ghanaians, according to the report. What policies or economic measures can help stabilize incomes and job security?
Expanding job creation initiatives in key sectors like agri, technology and manufacturing. And maybe at this point, maybe what we see from the government is the 24-hour economy. Let's see how that will feed into this. But it is important. See, agriculture is an area to be explored because, like I've told, our cherished listeners, time without number, a number of our labor force are employed already within that sector. In fact, it employs the most of our labor force. 2, we have food security issues. There's not, in other words, we do not, the demand for food in this country is higher than the supply of food. And that explains why you see a lot of imports of food. Food inflation is high in Ghana. And so once you invest in agriculture, income security would be enhanced. Income security, when we don't know, there are a lot of people in this country who do not know where their next meal is going to come from. Their income is not able to support that. And those people need to be employed to make income. And if you're already employed, their income needs to be shored up. If you're employed and the state of your employment or the state of the business within which you're employed is not up to current dynamics, then you will still be behind the curve, and that will impact the income. Technology is another area we could create job around. In fact, that is the future of the world. We look at the world, Economic Outlook report. Okay, yes. And Future of Jobs report. And we saw how technology and AI digitalization was, as it were, what the world is moving into in the next 5 to 10 years. And we made a case for why the youth today should be employed along those lines, software engineering and what have you. It is important to create jobs around that line because, you see, if you do not, and people are still learning clerical works, accounting clerks, and the rest of them, machines will do their job and they will be unemployed. And that curtails their level of income. And manufacturing, of course. Once you strengthen your agricultural base, the general expectation is that manufacturing will pick it up. You need to translate the raw materials into semi-finished and finished goods to meet the demand on the Ghanaian market. And that in itself improves the income and enhances the performance of our economy. Another key thing we need to look at is providing financial incentives to support startups and small businesses in order to encourage entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is key. Creating, you see, one is the government creating jobs. 2 is the government creating that environment that would allow businesses to grow so that businesses are able to employ. In fact, that is the way to create the jobs actually from the government fund. They can directly create jobs. Secondly, they can create that environment that allows businesses, private sector businesses, to grow in order to employ the people within the country. That is key. And then the third tier is an issue of creating that environment that encourages people to go into forming businesses, becoming entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is an issue of solving a problem that has stayed with us either for long or even for a short while, that needs to be addressed. You tailor a solution to that, and people would come and buy your idea by means of the product or the service that you render. And that comes with some income. You get income, you're able to create jobs for others, among other things. And that is quintessential at this point in time that we are, in order to enhance the income levels of the people. Of course, implementing wage policies that ensure that salaries keep pace with inflation. You see, inflation is one of the ways through which people's wages fall. Because when inflation is high and the increase in your salary does not correspond to the surge in inflation, then your purchasing power erodes, and that affects your ability to pay and buy items, among other things. And of course, maybe the last one I want to add is to expand social protection programs to cover more vulnerable populations. Not everyone has the ability to work like every other person who is in good standing. And so, as a result, the government needs to, I know that has already been done. You can consider things like LEAP. You can consider things like school feeding program and the rest of them. And so, yes, government is doing some things that are good, and I've mentioned some as I spoke, but I think that some of the key things I've also mentioned, I would be glad if government can take that into consideration.
Right. Now, the report also highlights, I like how you break down everything, and I think most of the things that you said, as you just mentioned, are things that government have put in certain structures to work on. We hope to see its implementation and all of that. Now, the report also highlights an increase in polyjobbers. Polyjobbers here means people who have more than one primary source of income and use their skills to actually create second incomes. The report says that there's going to be an increase in that, with many people taking on side hustles. Now, what does this particular trend say about the state of employment in Ghana?
Raphael, I am one of the proponents of that. I'm not a proponent, but I believe in that. Yes, I'm an advocate for that. You see, I don't believe in you depending on one stream of income. Your salary that you have is a distribution account. That is what you use to pay for your bills, you use to pay for your expenditure and those things. If you want to create wealth, you don't need one source of income. That is not sufficient. In fact, by the time you are done distributing your salary across your expenditure, your mainline expenditure, one of the things you realize is that you have little space to save or invest. And so you'll be living in that state, that which is known to be hand to mouth. You see, the rise of polyjobbers is an indication that formal employment alone is not sufficient. You have explained polyjobbers as people with side hustles or multiple streams of income. Many Ghanaians are engaged in side businesses, freelancing, and informal work in order to supplement their incomes. This trend reflects job insecurity, low wages, and high cost of living. And that in itself is pushing individuals to seek alternative income streams. I'm saying it and I'll say it again. One stream of income is not sufficient to sustain your life, especially if it's not enough to even cover your baseline expenditure. Rent, food, clothing. If it cannot cover this, maybe let me add utility to it. I mean, you need a multiple stream of income because you want to build wealth. One day you retire, and one of the things I keep saying is that the law gives the basic minimum. Nobody should retire on the strength of the law. What do I mean? The law provides for some social security in terms of pensions. I'm sure you are well aware of that.
Yeah.
That is just the basic. That is the floor. It's the basic minimum. Like, that's the minimum you can ever get. And not retire on the strength of the law. Otherwise, you retire and what you'll be earning from pensions would not, as it were, be able to cover for even your food in a month because inflation will keep on rising. And some other things may not be favorable. The value of that money over time would not be the same as you used to work, and it will not be able to sustain. So yes, I am all out for it. Many more people, if possible, everyone, get a side hustle, get your mainstream work, and get something. Do multiple streams of income. You are earning salary, you can get a side business, employ other people to work for you, to give you some income, invest that income, let your investment also give you some additional income and the rest of them.
I see. Now, what 90%, also checking the report, 90% of the respondents reported lower or unchanged income levels.
Is it 69 or 90?
Sorry, 69. 69% of respondents reported lower or unchanged income levels. I want you to tell us what sectors are most affected and what does this mean to or mean for Ghana's labor market?
Yeah, my income level too has been unchanged, so I think I'm part of them. And
right.
So let me start from there. My income level has not changed, so I'm part of them. But the major areas include the public sector workers. Due to stagnation in their wages and the economic austerities we found ourselves in at the time of this report, we've seen some increase in public sector wage, I'm sure, when the new government came into power. I think a month or two ago, there was some increase in the minimum wage.
Some 10%, yeah.
Then some increase also in their wages. But that is not sufficient to compensate for the erosion that has occurred around their wages or their salaries. The second group of people who fall within this bucket are informal sector workers, who face declining earnings due to reduced consumer spending. You see, one of the things we have touched on in the report earlier is the fact that people are not spending, given the difficulty in the economy or the difficult or rather painful economic situation we find ourselves in, and are rather shifting to keep their money as savings or investments rather than spending it. Once people are not spending, and there is another person on the supply side, which is a business producing goods and services, and so nobody is buying that, they would not also get income. And so they are also experiencing some stagnation in their level of income. And then we can talk about the retail and small business owners. They also struggle with lower sales and rising operational costs. This suggests that the labor market is under strain and it requires some urgent economic reforms and policies that promote wage growth and business expansion. These are necessary to be able to, as it were, make our labor market robust. You see, labor, maybe let me put it this way. Why is it that the economist does not say that the factors of production is human beings, but they say labor? Labor is different from a human being, although everyone who is within the labor force is a human being. But not all human beings fall within the labor force.
Right.
There is a reason. And the reason is very simple. If you're a human being and you cannot do what a job specifies, as it were, you are not qualified for it and you will not be considered labor. But today, they are not even talking about labor. They are talking about skilled labor. And that is really key. And literally, it is unfair for someone to develop their skill, someone to go to school, pay fees, someone to undergo training, either in school, in a vocational area, among other things, and the person will be employed by whoever is employing them. And they see stagnation in their level of income. It's unfair. It is not compensating for the training they have undergone. It is not compensating for the input they are making at the workplace. It is not compensating for the value they are adding to the organizations within which they serve. And I think that this needs to be addressed. We are on the back of Ghanaians. We are on the back of people to get to school, to be trained. We are on the back of people to be with the employable skills that employers are looking for. And they are employed, and yet their salaries remain the same. their salaries remain the same. And I think that we need some strong advocacy around that area, because just as when you are in school, you have to pay fees to be able to remain in school, take exams, and all of that. Wherever you are training, some are training to become professionals in many areas. You are paying huge sums of money to put them there. Once they employ, I think that I just want to make an appeal to all employers that you serve your employers well. I know sometimes the economic situations may not allow for that, but you see, it is on the part of the employee to bring some value to the table, and that value is supposed to translate into income for the business. When that income comes, employers let the employees see a pay raise at least, because the difficult economic situation does not only affect the business, it also affects their personal lives as well.
Right. You probably must lead you lead the advocacy, and we do well to follow.
I think you start a soft spot in me. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so let's also now move to investments. I mean, savings and investment behavior in the country. Now, many Ghanaians are increasingly prioritizing savings, but they are less inclined to dip into them for daily expenses. What has driven this shift in financial behavior?
There is a growing awareness of financial security and investment opportunities in Ghana. Says that sometimes I am forced to believe all Ghanaians know a treasury bill. And many have learned from past economic downturn. You know, at least if you are even 30 years or 20 years in this country, you notice that you've gone through some hard times and you've gone through some good times. And just like the Bible says, you should go to the army and learn its way and be wise. And I'm sure that has become the state of Ghanaians today. And so that growing awareness of financial security and investment opportunities, many have learned from economic downturns, economic recessions, economic difficulties, and now prioritize saving as a way to build resilience against these financial shocks. Like I invoke the scripture in Proverbs. If you have gone through difficult times and you have become aware of how to, as it were, deal with such difficult times if they should ever emerge again, and you don't put yourself in a situation where you are able to deal with such times if they come up again, then I think that you are hurting yourself. And I think that that is the reason accounting for what we are seeing now.
And also, more Ghanaians are exploring investment options with increased financial risk tolerance. Are people shifting towards more financial investment vehicles, or are informal saving system like Susu still dominant?
Thank you so much for this question. See, while formal investment options are growing, informal saving systems like Susu, community-based saving schemes, I'm sure you know that one. Usually you find it common amongst the older generation.
Yeah.
There will be a team of 10 or 15. Every week they bring a certain amount of money. The money is put together, then it is given to one. The next week is put together, it's given to the next. They do it until they get to the 15th week. Then we ask the family. Then we come to the next. Then they start again. And when I meet them, I tell them that this is exactly equal to you putting your money down in your house for 15 weeks and then picking it. And then I tell them that whenever you go into this thing, always make sure you are the first person to get the first one, because of the theory of time value of money. The one that is taking the money in the 15th week is not being compensated for waiting from the first week to take it in the 15th week. Because if that same amount of money was invested for 15 weeks, 15 weeks is about 3 months, right? It's about a quarter.
Yeah.
And that is about 91-day treasury bill, right? And so even if that money was used to buy a T-bill, there would have been some interest on it. And so if you take it in the 15th week, you are losing. If you take it in the first week, you are gaining. I told her Anyone who is those who are taking it first week, second week, they are the ones really enjoying the true fruits of their labor.
Right.
For the rest of it, I think you just add up to make the numbers. You would have lost by the 15th week, especially if anything should happen and maybe inflation numbers should go up or something like that. That is just a side. That is just by the way. So yes, that traditional system of SUSU, community-based savings schemes, they still remain dominant, especially among low-income earners. However, increased risk tolerance means more people are considering investment in businesses and real estate. See, let me put this differently. Because of what we have gone through in this past year as Ghanaians, we are no longer scared to take on risk. Let me just say it that way. So now people are ready to take on. Because, I mean, the worst that can happen has happened. Some of us had bald heads, but we still took a haircut. And you just can't imagine what that would be. And so, I mean, you saw the pensioners going to the Ministry of Finance and all of that. These are people in their pensions. And you can understand what that would be. And so, I mean, coming is like, I don't want to sound some way on air today, so let's make progress.
Right. Okay. Maybe my final question to you would be that retirement savings, when you look at the report, ranks very low among all the financial priorities. How can financial institutions and policymakers encourage long-term financial planning?
Public education campaigns on the benefits of retirement planning. Like I told you, the goal is not the strength of the law. What the law of Ghana provides is to make all of us equal at a certain level. The law is not sufficient. The law is not sufficient. It's never been sufficient. I'm not saying the law is bad. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that will give you the easiest minimum. It's necessary, but not sufficient. And so you need, in addition to what your employers and your, I don't know what your personal retirement plan is, you need to keep an eye on that and take some investments into retirement. Because one day you will not be active to work the way you could. One day you'll be priced out in terms of your skill. You may not have the skill that the world needs today. Cast your mind back. Look at our parents, our uncles, those who are in their 60s and 70s and 80s. There are things we do today, and although they may want to do it, they still cannot do it. And it is because that was not the skill that they grew up with. And although some may want to learn and all, you still beat them to it because this is your generation. A time is coming that all of us speaking, the two of us speaking this morning, and all young people listening to us this morning, will be priced out. Look at AI and how it's evolving quickly. Even ChatGPT, almost every month or every 2 months, it brings a new update. Things are changing. You meet young students in class 4, class 3, and the kind of things they can do when you were their age, you had no idea. When you were their age, you were playing chess. You have no idea of what they are doing. And the point I'm making is that keep an eye on your retirement and plan for it. You see, planning to fail, failing to plan is planning to fail. If you fail to plan, you're actually planning to fail. It is inadvertent. You don't need to do anything. Just fail to plan your retirement. And I'm telling you, you've planned to you are failing already. Your retirement will not be that nice. That is where you have your grandchildren. And when your grandchildren come around, they always want to live with an envelope. And we need to give incentives for voluntary pension contributions, such as tax breaks and some other things. Flexible pension schemes, I think we are on top of that. And then mobile-based pension savings platforms to encourage participation. Today, all we are talking about is financial inclusion, and we have seen that digitalization is key in driving financial inclusion. And so you cannot, as it were, not as a financial institution and whatever, you cannot. I don't know. To me, I don't know how to really put it. You cannot risk the life of the people by not offering an alternative for them. They can't walk to the bank always to come and make payments and others.
Right. Okay.
You need to create that mobile money platform through which they can save.
Sure. Right. Ima, thank you very much for your time. I think we have to go now. And so we will have further conversations on Monday. Hello? All right, I guess.
Literally.
Yes. So I'm saying that we'll have further conversations on Monday, God willing.
Yes, sir.
All
See
right.
you on Monday.
All right. Please enjoy the rest of your day and your weekend as well. Well, that was Emmanuel Boateng, our economic analyst here at Zed Multimedia. And we're going to get into our roundtable discussion. Today we're talking education and employment. Why are many graduates jobless? What are the real reasons? And how can you position yourself to be able to go through this particular storm? Please stay tuned. When we take a quick break, when we return, my guest will join me in studio and then we have the conversation.
We are over that sea. No R. Kelly. We don't want peace. Too fly, too fly. Terminal 3, we are passporting. Step with us or you escorting. We update you and your escorting. Media to form. Akatata. We fall from heaven like manana. Only ho we go ho go be ho sanana. Dope like coke, no fantatata. Chale ya badada. Finally see we just they enter. Overseas we don't they conquer. As we they enter every corner, every chamber. Oluwade, oh we making money January to December. Yawa no day,
The best beats, the hottest hits, and that Friday feeling you've been waiting for is here on Zed 101.9 FM.
This is Business Breakfast on Zed 101.9 FM.
My friend, coulda them, coulda myself, coulda family, coulda Mrs. String, or coulda my own girlfriend, coulda my boss, or anyone, enemies. Don't come away, whenever you start us, please don't come away. To all the fake friends, no time to pay. Yes, I'm busy working and I'll make it one day.
dagba tutulelo. Mato asikeo, mato asikeo, ala mato asike mawe bana dagba tutulelo.
It's your lifestyle, lurcher, and business radio.
101.9 FM.
Well, welcome back. 8 to 9, 8 minutes to 9 on the Business Breakfast on Zed. And we'll get it into our roundtable discussion right away this morning. Well, today we are diving into a very critical conversation, one that affects thousands of young people in Ghana every single year. Now, and the topic is education and employment. Why are many graduates jobless? Very, very big question. Now, Ghana's universities produce thousands of graduates annually, yet the struggle to find jobs remain a major national concern. Is it a lack of opportunities, skills gap, or unrealistic expectations? And most importantly, what solutions can we explore? To help us unpack this issue, I have in studio with me Lydia Kwesing Eji, who is a career coach. She's worked with several young people and top organizations, and she has first-hand knowledge of what exactly employers are looking for. And this morning she's going to help me break down the conversation. Lydia, good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me here. And good morning to all your, viewers and also those listening live.
To us.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much for accepting to be here.
Thank you.
Let's start the conversation by looking at the job market today.
Great.
Are there enough opportunities? Well, of course, as a career coach,
Great.
Do you think we have a job scarcity problem or skills mismatch problem?
All right. So I will answer your question in two phases.
Right.
And greetings to all my networks. Yes. So as I usually post on some of my articles and some of my posts when you follow on LinkedIn, one thing I want to assure you is that 10 years ago, I was in a forum at the British Council, and one of the coaches came on the stage, and the main thing she said is that there are jobs in Ghana, but graduates are not job ready. I was really not happy in my spirit, because at that time I was job searching. I was searching for a job. So I was like, what do you mean by that, right? But 10 years down the line, being a career coach, I want to affirm that there are enough jobs in Ghana, but graduates are not job ready. Why am I saying this? Now, as a career coach, I speak to a lot of graduates, especially those who are just finishing school, those doing their national service, those who are about to enter the job market. One funny and one frustrating thing is that you see how the educational curriculum is structured.
Yeah.
Okay. So graduates finish school and they don't know how to navigate around the job market. What is the way? How do we do this? So they have been taught in the classroom, whether practically or non-practically, but how to understand what to do is a challenge, and whom to talk to is a challenge. Where to go to find solutions or answers is a challenge. So that is why I am in a position of guiding them as a map, as a career compass, to help them understand the job market, and so they can easily navigate through the job market. Now, there are jobs in Ghana, but the issue is that graduates are just job searching, but they are not job ready. There's a difference between searching for a job and being job ready. I posted an article in January, and I explained the difference between job searching and being job ready. The article was published by my consult, Get Your Answers Consult.
Okay.
Now, most graduates are searching for jobs. So you finish school, maybe I studied this, I want to just get a job. That wouldn't land you a job. And even if it lands you any job, you will not be fulfilled. You wake up in the morning, you go sit there, and you are nagging, you are not happy, you are just doing anything, and you ask yourself after 3 years, 4 years, where am I going? Okay, so being job ready is preparing the mind, the soul, the heart, the body in action. How to utilize what you have been taught in the classroom, and then building yourself with the skills, the capacity, the competencies that are relevant in today's job market. So you'll be relevant to the space available. So we post jobs every day. When you see the number of applicants and those who qualify, you'll be amazed. It tells you that a lot of people are just applying for jobs. They don't know what they are doing. So yes, jobs are there, but how graduates can understand the job market and utilize the opportunity around to scale up and get to the job is the issue.
Many of the young people won't be happy with you this morning.
I know, but the truth always hurts. The reason is I also wasn't happy with the career coach some years back, but I sit in the panel discussion. I recruit for organizations. I've been HR manager trying to find talent. How then can a graduate come? You've been invited for an interview. The person come and the person don't even from the word go, the person don't understand the job. You ask the person, the first question, what did you see in the job that made you apply? The person don't know why he or she applied.
All they need is a job.
They just need a job. But if you don't understand the dynamics of the job, do you think the employer will give you the job?
No.
So it is not about yes, the jobs are there, though not enough for everybody.
I was coming to that.
Yes, though not enough for everybody. But I always say that you are in a wrong place when you apply for jobs for more than 4 times and you don't have a call. It means that from the word go, number one, the fundamental tool you are using, which is the CV. The CV is your passport to the door, right? So if the CV is not well structured, if the CV is not revamped to suit the dynamics of organization, most organizations, we are not screening CVs physically. Okay, we are using the ATS, the applicant tracking system, to screen CVs, because you receive over 1,000 applications. You don't expect me to waste like 3, 4, 5 days screening this CV. So if your CV is not well structured, it doesn't get to the door. So the fundamental basis is that the tool that you need to get to the door, which is the CV, do you even have it? If you have it, how is it? So this is where I place myself.
Right.
Yeah.
We will come to CVs so that you tell us some things there. But I like how you started.
Thank
some
you,
fireworks.
Thank
so I'm sure the young
you,
people that, as I said, I'm sure they are not happy with you. But it is the truth, and so we'll get into that. Now, what percentage of fresh graduates are actually employable? I mean, by industry standards today. What percentage?
For percentage, I would say per my own daily interactions with graduates, and I mean, I will give like 20%. 20%. Yes, 20, just 20
just
out
20%.
of just 20.
That's worrying.
Why am I saying this? You know, I was in an interview room where someone wanted to tailor my ideas on this kind of concepts. I positioned this in 3 phases. I stated categorically that yes, we understand sometimes the way our curriculum are structured can be problematic, right? And the issue is that yes, so we teach all these things, and then the graduates finish and they don't even know what to do. You know, soft skills. We are in an IT era. People don't even know how to navigate with their computers. You know, AI is on the high stream. How to utilize AI to be more efficient and productive within a specific period of time. Okay, so these are things that we, you know, in as much as the culture dynamics is changing, organization and institutions especially should also change their curriculum. So let's say something that have been drafted like 20 years ago is still used in schools to teach. And we see that every day there are things like, you know, new interfaces, IT. How do you expect a person to go through that 20 years curriculum, come out and be successful? So I really challenge that we have to do more as institutions, as universities, right? I like what the University of Ghana Business School is doing. They have an incubation innovation hub. They have an entrepreneurship hub where you go pitch your idea. If it is good, you get some funding and then you can kickstart. Entrepreneurship is good, but how graduates can be trained to understand entrepreneurship is also very relevant today on this discussion. So yes, 20%, I will give 20%. Just 20% are ready. And I'm saying this because in terms of skills match, in terms of preparedness from the mind, soul, body, those who actually understand what they want to do, they are just few.
They're just few.
Exactly.
Interesting. Well, 2:09. This is Business Breakfast on Zed with me, Nee Trebi Hammond. Now, this morning I'm speaking to Lydia Quising, who is a career coach, and she's helping us understand what exactly the problem is when it comes to unemployment. Because many people say that I don't have a job. We complete school. I mean, they even created an unemployed graduate association some time back. I don't know whether it's still in existence, but a lot of people are complaining that they don't have jobs. What exactly is the problem? Maybe I should just run you through some recent data that I've gathered. Now, in the first 3 quarters of 2023, Ghana's unemployment rate escalated to 14.7%, marking a very significant increase from previous years. Now, alarmingly also, 22.3% of individuals who experienced unemployment spells lasting over 20 months between quarter 1 of 2022 and quarter 3 of 2023 held tertiary education qualification. It means that most of the people we call unemployed today are people that have gone through the university.
Exactly.
And also, the University of Ghana alone graduated approximately 15,750 graduates in a recent 7-day congregation period, highlighting the increasing number of degree holders entering the job market. Now, for 2024-2025 service year, the National Service Authority posted 106,223 university graduates, which underscores the vast number of young professionals seeking to commence their careers. And this raises a lot of questions. A lot of questions, and that's why we're having this conversation this morning. Please do well to engage us. If you want to send a WhatsApp, you want to ask a question, maybe seek some clarity on anything, you can text me on 0544-321019, 0544-321019. We'll do well to get Lydia to answer your questions. But you can as well engage our post on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. We'll do well to read them accordingly. We are live on YouTube at Z Multimedia. Please share the link with somebody to join the conversation. Well, now let's come to the CVs.
Yeah.
You have seen a lot of them.
Majority.
What exactly are the biggest red flags that makes employers reject applications?
The first red flag for me on the CV is when I see the curriculum vitae written boldly on it.
You don't have to write it?
No way. The most relevant thing that should pop up on your CV is your name, your official name.
But I've seen CVs where somebody writes curriculum vitae and then under it's their name.
No.
You don't have to write
the
it on it.
8-year standardized form. You don't need to write that. The most bolded thing on your CV should be your official name.
I see.
So your official name, then you put your relevant, if you have a website links, you put it there, your contact, your address, and then now you go to your as in your address can be your email address or your location, your PO box can be there. The other red flag is when I see people putting references and adding the reference contacts.
Oh, we don't do that?
We prefer emails. It's for one, security of the person you are referencing. And, you know, in the internet session, there are a lot of scammers.
Right.
So let's say if you are using me as a reference and you put my number out there, it's in the public. It becomes a public domain.
Right.
So people draw on that and call other people. So I prefer you use emails for your references. The other thing is grammatical errors. As if the person, you write, I pay attention to details. And the first thing I see is that you are making mistakes with just common spellings. So what is that? I call those things buzzwords.
Right.
You are just using it because you have to use it. CVs that are not revamp. And when I say revamp, I mean you are just, let's say you are into PR. I'm into PR. What makes you different from me? Why should I give you the job and not Lydia the job. The differentiator is quantification of job responsibility. So you don't just say that I enhance the brands of organization, but in what capacity do you enhance the brands of organization? So let's say within a month, I'm able to tailor organizations to, let's say, 10,000 capacity. So in that, you are making us understand that within a month, you can do like 10,000 brands awareness, brands reviews. So someone who is able to explain on a daily basis what he or she is able to do, and you just saying that I'm able to enhance brand awareness, there's a difference. I'll pick the person who has quantified, who is able to explain. I will engage the person. Tell me how you did this. If I have something, I can say, oh, if I give him the job, he will be able to excel on the job. So I give you the job. So these are some of the things that graduates don't know. It's missing on their CV, and it's become an issue of contention. You apply for more than 10 jobs, 20 jobs, 100 jobs, you are not getting any feedback. And it is all because you don't have the relevant tool, the standardized tool that can push you to the door. And then you prepare interview, because the interview is also another step to getting the job. So after your CV gets you to the door, you, the person going, how prepared are you?
Right.
That is it.
That's also another thing.
Exactly.
Now, but people have raised concerns, especially about using one CV to apply for every job.
Exactly.
What do you have to say about that?
So when you have a standard CV, I always say that the standard CV is your passport, but the tailored CV is your visa. Let me explain. So let's say I have a standard CV that is standardized, but if I want to apply for, I can do marketing, digital marketing, social media. One person. If I want to apply for something social media related, I have to tailor the CV.
Okay.
Tailoring the CV doesn't mean you are changing everything, but you are responding to the job description. The job description actually communicates what employers need.
Right.
So I put in brief what I need in the job description. So when you apply, you look at your CV and check the job description. What do I have that is not tailored? Let me take it out. What is in my CV that is not relevant for me to even put in there? I take it out. I make sure that I tailor it. So tailoring is like, I'm wearing this jacket. It's a bit tight on me. I want to, do some alteration. So you do a bit of alteration to meet to the demands of the employer, and it will get you to the door. So yes, you don't use one CV for every job role or position or title, but you tailor it to suit what you are applying, to speak to the demands of the employer, which is relevant or clearly in the job description.
What is the difference between CV and resume?
All right. So for resume, CV is more standardized. Okay. So CV can be used for a lot of things. It can be used, let's say, politically, you want to, do something, you can use a CV. You can, if let's say you want to travel, you have a CV. It's like, it speaks to everything.
CV captures everything you have done.
Yes. Okay. So from your professional summary, okay, your resume don't usually demand professional summary. Okay. So from professional summary to your work experience, to, let's say, your educational portfolio, to your professional experience, to your awards harness, to all that can be in the CV. Okay. But resume is like, let's say I want to travel to UK or US. The school demands that I put in the research, any research I've done because of the course or the structure of the curriculum. You have to, you don't use that CV. You have to resume like response to the demands of what is entered. So a tele CV actually answers a resume.
Okay, so because a lot of people get confused.
Exactly.
About, they are unable to tell the difference.
Exactly. There's a difference.
Okay.
There's a difference. Mostly resumes can be like a page, just one page. But CVs can be 2-3 pages, depending on what you want to apply. So let's say if the job demands that you have 10 years experience and more, you don't need one page to apply for that 10 years experience and more job. You need a resume, a CV, which is well structured, giving them details of why you have that 10 years and what you have done, some of your achievements, some of your awards, honors, that demands that you get a job. So yes.
I see. Okay. Are there some specific industries where Ghanaian graduates have a better chance of employment?
Yeah. Specifically for now, IT. If you are intellectually good with information technology, okay, because from it runs in all streams of industry, even in HR, we have AI in HR. If you are not proficient in technology, you may not be a very valuable asset to the organization now. So someone with good IT skills, someone who is able to navigate with some tools, okay, stand a chance of, fitting in a lot of industries and expectations. Yeah.
Right. So, so you just IT for now?
IT is the new norm.
Okay.
IT is good. With the soft skills, communication is key. You engage people. Yesterday, I was on an interview with, you call the person, the way the person even respond, it's a red flag. It's like the person is not ready. And I asked, are you okay? Are you not fine?
Give an example.
Okay, so for instance, I have your CV before me. Mostly, I do a preliminary interview where I don't see you, but I give you a phone call to know how you sound.
Okay.
So I'll call you. I'll ask first, is there a right time to engage you? He said, yes. My name is this. I introduced myself. My name is Lydia Kwesi. I'm a career coach. I'm doing this because you applied for an interview. You applied for a position to do this. And the person said, yes. Am I speaking with you? Yes. Okay. Are you okay? Did you just wake up? No. But I can't hear you. Can you amplify your voice? Okay. And the person is still speaking like in the same, they don't take it like serious. And you expect to be invited for the interview. Forget it. It's not that I'm judging you based on how you sound. But I'm trying to push you to even speak, and it's becoming a difficulty.
Right.
So communication, most people don't know how to communicate. I am in an institution. I don't want to mention where I work, but I'm in a public institution, a university. Okay, for that matter. People walk into your office and they can't even communicate certain things they want. And you ask them, it takes like 30 minutes to struggle to understand what they want. And I asked them, is it the English? He said, no. So what is the issue? This is what you want. See how I have to ask you a lot of questions to get you. Communication is a challenge for most graduates. So if you are good with communication, you fit in. Right. Because yes, you are going to work with people, and it is very important. Navigating around AI, IT is very important. In HR, we have HR analytics, something that is most like relevant now in our industry as an HR person.
Wow.
Right. So you have to be able to work with data, analyze data. Very important. With your job, like a social media content, you need to be able to work with SEOs, how to optimize this. When I want to listen to any conversation now in Ghana on employment, when I type Z should pop up, be number one. How do you do that? These are some of the analytics. What analytics can do, what data can do, trying to understand the concept of streamlining can do. So it is very important. We have to, as graduates, react to the changing demands of society. As we speak, people still don't know how to navigate with AI. For me, it is a fantastic thing for me. I love it. Because for me, I can sleep and I've already structured what I want to do for the whole week, and it is on my socials already. So people ask me, do you have a manager for your pages? No, but you are always online. How do you do it? They don't know. AI is working for me. But most people don't understand this. So it is very important that graduates, also adjust to the demands of what is needed now, what is relevant now. So if you want to be an HR, what am I supposed to do now to push me to that level, right? If you want to be in social media, what am I supposed to do? What are the tools that is relevant, so that you incorporate that in learning, and it will help you excel on the job market.
Right. 9:15, and this is Business Breakfast on Zed. If you just tuned in, we're having a conversation on education and employment. Why are many graduates jobless? And this morning, I've been joined by Lydia Kwesi, who is a career coach, a seasoned career coach. She's engaged with a lot of people. She's been on several panels, and she's telling us what exactly the problem is when it comes to employment in Ghana? Because a lot of people complain of unemployment. Now, we often hear that employers struggle to find the right candidates.
Exactly.
So let's talk about employment in a bit. What are the common mistakes that graduates make when they are job hunting?
The basic mistake is applying for anything they see. So
some
let's
graduates just apply for any job.
Majority, I would say over 90% don't know what they want. So the fact that they think they have done something on social media and all that, then they suit every job. So yesterday, for instance, I have a page on WhatsApp. I post jobs on a daily basis for some of my network to apply. So I posted 2 jobs yesterday, and one person got into my DM around 10 p.m. asking, "Can you share the link?" The content of the job says, "Click on the link." The person haven't even tried to click on the link to see whether it will take him or her to the page for the application. They don't
DM you.
Yes. And I was like, just click on the link. The thing says click on the link. And I asked you, do you qualify for the job you're applying? He said, yes. The person don't qualify. That builds the frustration. So you are, "Madam, I've been applying for a lot of jobs. I'm not getting jobs. I don't know why." I'll ask, send your CV. When they send the CV, you see the flaws. Secondly, I engage the person. What kind of jobs have you been applying to? And you realize that the person have been, wasting his or her time. So it is just about the format, the right format. You have to be specific. Tailor your mind, your body, your soul, your CV. Be specific with what you want. Know what you want first. Get coaching on what can be done. And then with 2-3 attempts, you should get a job. For me, I don't see just one attempt even should give you an interview. Go in there and let's see whether you perform. The second attempt, you learn your mistakes, you get a job. And then networking is also something that graduates can draw on. I am here today because of networking, what I do. Because 2 of my network called me on this same show.
Wow.
2. One called, 30 minutes, another called. I said, someone just called. Then it means that it's not a coincidence. Let me just come. Because people want me to speak on their issues. So networking, the right network. Don't just get into people's DM and say, "Madam, I need a job." That's one red flag. Then I'll come back. What kind of job do you need? Then the person will say that any job. It's serious. Like, these are some of the things that you do and you don't get a job, okay? So network right networking. If you want to go into people's DM, make sure that you are introducing yourself. Let us know what you have. So what you have done in the past. It speaks to me whenever I get any opportunity. Your name clip, and then I'll just say, "Oh, there was someone." So I just recommend, and I've done this several times. I have actually declared this year a job breakthrough year for my network, and it is happening and it is working. So please, it is just about the format, what you do, how you do it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
You mentioned a very key issue about the fact that many of the young people do not know what they want.
Exactly.
And so they tend to jump on every opportunity.
Yes.
But what happens? Because there are some people who have pursued certain jobs in certain industries. For instance, somebody is in marketing. They've applied to a lot of marketing roles and it is not happening for them. Okay. So now when they see a banking job, they want to jump on.
I understand. So let's say there are exceptions to some of these things. I'm saying it wouldn't apply 100%, but there are few like 10%. And those 10%, I'll ask you, you apply for the job. Were you called for interview? The person will say yes. And after the interview, what happened? Nothing. Then I will instead of putting you in, I'll push you into an interview prepping session.
Okay.
I will engage you just like you are in the interview room to understand what you have done wrong. So sometimes when I do that, I realize that they said things that they are not supposed to say. And let me share this. I think I said it on Monday in one of my socials. Some years back, as a student, I think 13 years or something, as a student, right, I wanted to do internship. So one of the CEOs for one media firm got in touch with me and then interviewed me. The person asked just 2 questions. He said, why do you want to be part of us as an intern? That's the first question. Second question, where do you want to be in the next 5 years? It is the second question that actually threw me out of the door. And it is how I answered. So I said, I started speaking about my future aspiration. I want to be one of the CEOs in Ghana. I want to do this. And the man, after everything I've said, I thought he would be happy for me. He just said, Lydia, you are a braggart. Do you know what you are saying? These are the 2 words he said to me. I was angry in my spirit, but I couldn't share openly because, I mean, you want an opportunity. But I went home and I was like, but this is what I want to do in future and all that. I didn't know that the question didn't demand me to say all those things I said. So sometimes how to answer and respond, it is not everything that you think you have to say that you have to say in an interview room. You have less than 5 minutes or less than 10 minutes to show us how you meet this. And you are saying irrelevant things. So graduates, actually, I believe that if institutions are on this call or universities are on this call, I pray that they will, I mean, there should be some career coaching, curricular-driven approach to help graduates, especially when you are in 400. If they cannot do for everybody, especially level 400 students, you see, where you engage some key professionals and also for them to engage these graduates. Recently, I was invited by the Marketing Students Association of the University of Ghana to engage them on interviews, prepping session. And it was really like a good move. I really love what they have started because most don't know how. And these people will go out and make all the mistakes for 20 months and more, for 2 years and more, before later they are able to get to the reality of what is supposed to be. This shouldn't be the issue. You should be very ready from the word go. You go out there, you excel. What even helped me was that when I was about to do my national service, I got an advantage with the British Council for a program. I've forgotten the program, but it was like a national program. And then they taught me some of these things, personal branding, all that. So it even made me stand out during national service. A lot of people wanted to work with me prior to completion of national service. A lot of people. My first job was just a mere call by one of the people I was working with. That was that. I went there, the interview, I nailed, and that day I started. And it's not because I'm unique. It's because I got some kind of help, some kind of tailoring, some kind of coaching, mentorship. Back to back. I have to change the way I dress. I have to change the way I speak. I have to stand out. Your unique selling proposition. What is unique about you that is sellable from the other candidates? So yes, that is something that is missing. I don't blame them much, but they can also work it out. Right.
But maybe there's somebody listening to us. They know that they have to look for something that they can do. How do they do that? Something that is unique about them. How do they find that?
Great. On the Awaken Your Inner Goddess concept by Marianne Majid, a brand ambassador, I spoke about USP, unique selling proposition. And I have to zoom in with some mentorship for some people for them to identify how they can stand out. What will help them be unique. The first thing that is very fundamental is passion. If you know what you are passionate about, that is it. For me, what I'm doing is my passion. If you ask me, my undergraduate, I didn't do anything HR. Right.
What did you do?
I did sociology with linguistics. Yeah, they've caught me right on the yeah, I did sociology with linguistics, but that is not even something I wanted to do. I'm a mathematically inclined person from secondary school, best math students, best accounting students.
Really?
Yes, I was the girl.
And they won't give you sociology.
Exactly, with linguistics. I told my dad, I'm not doing this. I was going to class with my colleagues who were doing business for 1 year. I wasn't going to my own class. And then my dad said, you will do this regardless. If you don't do this, you are not going back to school. You join your mom to sell. Yeah, so I have to do it. But I'm glad I did because I wasn't that engaging like how I'm sociable now. I believe God was preparing me for something that is a passion.
Right.
Because HR is easy. My first job, I was a valuation officer, calculating quotations. Like, math is my thing.
Okay.
Most of my good grades are all in accounting and maths. Right. So, yes, I realized that, no, I do this easily. I can sleep, you call me for anything, and we can do it without even referring to any book.
And I dare say that we didn't share, you're one of the few guests that we didn't share synopsis with.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you are able to speak to them.
So, yes, the passion is the basics. So, identify what your passion is. One lady is passionate about ice cream, and her ice cream concept is not the way we see it. Hers is herbs, using herbs for ice cream. That is health conscious and also enjoying the ice cream.
Right.
She's pushing that agenda and it's selling. She just won an award with one international organization to push into her business. So what is your passion? If talking is your passion, I mean, improve upon that, work upon that. When you go somewhere, you take the microphone, you speak and people, oh yeah, he got it. Can you MC for us? I want you to try MCing, right? So you just have to know what you can do effortlessly, what it is easier to do, and you are happy about it. You are okay with it, and that should be the point of call. Passion sells, passion pays.
Right.
You enjoy, you go to sleep happy, and you get paid. So passion is actually your unique, something that is unique about you. We have a lot of HRs, but there's something unique about me that everybody says, and because I feel this is a passion. Right.
I see. Very, very interesting. Now, do you think that universities actually produce problem solvers or they produce degree holders?
Yeah, this is a good conversation. I like the question. So it depends. It's a 50-50 idea. Some, it's the framework of the mindset of some people. Right.
You mean the students?
Yes, some go in for just the degree. Let's say, yes, I'm going in for the MBA certificate for promotion. Okay. The main mandate is that because there's a promotion and I've worked for 7 years, and because I don't have the MBA certificate, they will not give it to me. I just want the certificate regardless. So they don't even absorb what is, just want the certificate. Oh, yeah, just pass me for the certificate. So I will not blame the universities much. But some of us, we go in there with certificate driven. Someone want to be on a workshop. I'm organizing a 3-day workshop happening from 4th to 6th. It's a virtual. And the first thing the person asks is there a certificate? Apparently, it's not what it is outlined. It's not the benefits. It's not what you work out of the workshop with forever in your life, and it is practical. It is just the paper. Okay. So, yes. We are also part, but hey, if let's say 20,000 students are graduating from a university, give them some challenges and let's see how they are able to approach the challenges, right? So the university education actually is like opening your mind to understand certain concepts and also how to handle them practically using academia, research, and all that. But it is all on you. I always say that everything depends on you, the person, your mindset, how you are going to build upon what you have been given to excel, right, to solve that challenge. And that is where the conversation is. I believe that universities can give more opportunities to students to even start from the challenges the universities are facing. Some universities are doing that. Ashasha University, University of Ghana, I see some concepts working. But the truth of the matter is that let's do more. If they're able to solve the university's existing challenges, they'll go out there and solve more challenges. My take.
I like how you said your take. Right, that's great. But what do you think is the biggest skill gap in you notice in graduates today?
The skills gap is communication and confidence.
A lot of people are not confident.
No way. Very, very not. Very, very not. And I feel, yes, I wasn't this confident. I have to do it, like I have to work on it. I was really shy and very shy. I'm still shy, but not as it used to be. Yeah. Right. So communication and confidence. You know what makes someone get a job over you? Sometimes it's confidence. I'm not saying go and do over sabi, over confidence there, but confidence actually emanates from knowing your facts.
Okay.
What makes people not confident? If you don't know your facts and you are put on there, you will not be confident. You say things that you are not supposed to. You start fumbling and all that.
Right.
So knowing your facts, I would say preparation to meet opportunity. Prepare today. Read that book. Join that webinar for free. Go on YouTube. Learn that skill, that tool, that software, how to do. QuickBooks is now like the fundamental thing. Any accounting person who is in the university who want to be an accountant or an account officer should know. It's basic. Now we don't ask of Excel and co. We know you know. Now we've graduated from that to QuickBooks. Do you have that? So if you don't have, there was a time I was interviewing some architects for an organization. It's an engineering firm, and then for me, if it is a technical role we are interviewing, you will not come and I'll ask you Q&A. It will be practical. So they came with their laptops, and I said, okay, so this is the concept. Do it. You are doing and we are assessing you. Yeah. So you see the thing. And one person gave up on the spot. He just said, Madam,
I can't do it.
No, Madam, I will go. He thought it was like, come and... No, it's not what you say. Oh. We know. We know some jobs, if it's a communication job, we will listen to you to know how your amplification, your tonation, your wording and all that. We know. But this is practical. Nobody is coming to talk to you. We give you the concept. You build from scratch. He just gave up on the spot. Last 2 weeks, I think later I can show you the chat. He said, thank you for what you did. Now, I went for another interview. I was prepared. I went with my laptop, and I was able to get the job. He's in one of the biggest firms in Ghana now. But it is the experience he had at the interview. He said, I have not seen this before. Yes, you do it. We will give you practical. When we are done, we will see you. If you are 5, 6, the best two will come in the room. We have a conversation. We strike the difference. So confidence.
Right.
And confidence emanates from knowing your facts and how to communicate it. It's really important. Soft skills to bridge the gap into this job market. Confidence can put you to where you are not supposed to go. You go there, but when you get what you say also matters. Yes.
Right. 26 minutes to go. This is Business Breakfast on Zed with me, Nitrebi Hammond. This morning we're having a conversation with Lydia Kwesing Eje, who is a career coach, and also she's in the HR space, and she's helping us understand why many of our graduates are saying they can't get jobs, or why the unemployment conversation still continues to be in our narratives. But if you want to join the conversation, please feel free to send me a WhatsApp on 0544321019, 0544321019. Send us a text. We'll do well to read it for you. You can as well call us on 030395661, 030395661. Call us, and then we will give you an opportunity to ask a question or make a comment. Also, you can engage us on ZFMGH at ZFMGH on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. We'll do well to engage you accordingly. Now, another issue, Lydia, is graduate expectation gap when it comes to issues like salary and all of that. Do you think graduates expect too much when it comes to salary, or do you think employers are underpaying them?
So yes, let me pick it from whether graduates are expecting too much when it comes to salary. I don't find it a challenge when you are worth it. When you are worth the money you want us to pay. For me, when I'm interviewing, I always ask, what do you want us to pay you? Even if I have the skill, I'm able to go and negotiate based on your worth and give you what you want, because I want you to be happy and be working, right? But when you don't have the worth, you don't know the thing. Like, you don't have the worth. It's like you're an entry-level applicant and your expectations are high. You will not get it. So I always say that, okay, now there's a lady who engaged me about HR. She's in a firm. and she told me about some of the challenges she's facing, but she's still there because she wants to build up on experience. And I told her, yes, sometimes you need the experience. When you get the experience and you know your fact, then you look for the money more. Because so people want to pay for what you are bringing on the table.
Right.
What are you bringing on the table? Tell me what you can do to this organization in 1 year. If you're able to do that, get it and do it. But if you don't know what you are bringing on the table, we ask you, what do you bring on board? You don't know what you are bringing on board, and you expect me to pay you that much. It's not business-wise. Do you think it's profitable? It is not. You don't come and sit here and be watching YouTube and be chit-chatting and expect a salary. And the reason why most sales jobs are now commission-based is because of the attitude of graduates. I recruit for most sales organizations. The issue is that first, they know that whether they go and sell or not, at the end of the month, you pay me. So they'll go and roam and be doing other things and come with your fuel. They'll come and sit down. Then they are just not selling, and you have to be paying much. So they said, okay, commission-based. I can give you 30% of the entire profit, okay, if you're able to sell. So the more you sell, the more you are making. And people say, I don't want commission-based job. It's laziness. For me, it's laziness. If you really love what you want to do, why won't you sell and get more money? Right. So it is, yes, sometimes graduates expect more. Challenge them. If you are worth it, why not? Employers are also supposed to look at the current, challenges, especially with the increments of, transport fares, feeding, and all that, so that they are able to tailor their salary structure in a reasonable, structure, where graduates will not be working and be stranded and be borrowing even when they are working. Their salary cannot even, help them to survive within a month. That is, death sentence. It's not a good thing.
Right.
Sometimes put yourself in the shoes of graduates. That is one point of the conversation. The other point of the conversation is that because there are lots of people looking for jobs, sometimes some organizations capitalize on the demands and then sometimes do not treat graduates fairly. The reason is that they know that if you don't accept the pay, someone will come and do the job. So they will not, work on it.
Right.
But don't be so sad with that, especially if you know what you can do for the organization and it is not you losing, but the organization losing. You just have to hold your weight and push yourself better. The right opportunity, the right appreciation will find you, and then you excel. Yeah.
Right. Now, what would you say is like a very good advice to fresh graduates when it comes to standing out in the job market?
All right. So practically, as I have experience, as I still coach people, is that I always say, before you leave my office as a national service personnel, before you go out from level 400 into the job market proper, please make sure that you have undergone some kind of career coaching, where career coaching means that let somebody look at your CV for you first. You draft it yourself. Get an expert to look at it for you and advise. Prepare that too. That will help you, because someone can see you are good and say, can I have your CV? It should be ready, something available.
Right.
So before you leave out of school to the job market, you should at least have a CV. The second thing is that you should build upon your communication skills very well. How to sell, your unique selling proposition, how to stand out is very important. You should build upon that. So when you are in there, people can recognize you, stand out easily. Well, people, you put graduates in a room, you ask questions. Do you have any questions? Nobody wants to talk. They have questions too, but they don't want to talk. You see, it's not them. It's sometimes you don't understand, but that kind of thing. So we have to help them in their public speaking abilities, capabilities. The other thing is personal branding. Okay, it's not about dressing, but the little you can do to look a bit okay.
Right.
Because people have come for interviews, and in fact, it wasn't good. From the smell to everything.
The smell also counts.
Yes, it counts. I mean, like, you are sweaty, but sometimes you enter and let's say the whole room have absorbed your sweat. And the thing is that, maybe if it is a place that people will be coming in and out, you may be good, but you'll not be picked because of that. And nobody is telling you the truth. So I advise that you get someone who will tell you the truth. Someone you look up to, a career person who will say, okay, let's work on this, do ABC. It will help you. Because sometimes these things also count, right? And then your communication, and also how to navigate with information technology, some of the tools, some of the equipment. You should also build up on that and go out with confidence. You are more than capable. I mean, you can.
You're more than capable. You can.
Yeah.
So if you're listening to us, you're more than capable. You actually can. But it's many companies hire based on who you know today than exactly maybe what you know.
Exactly.
How can we break into the system?
Great. Most organizations are comfortable with recommendations, sometimes based on experience. Some have gone in there and then they have stolen from the organization. We have organizational theft each and every day. Okay, so sometimes recommendation help because you know that the person recommending the actual individual, the person is worth it, and so the person will bring you something good. But I always say that all the places I've worked, I go in there solo. I don't know anybody. Yeah. And because of that, I always say that if you know your factor and you know your worth and you are sellable and you are confident about what you know and you can say, I can do this for you. You just give me the try for 3 months. If it doesn't work for you, let's cancel this contract. You can actually get the job. Wherever I've worked, you go there and there's friends and family. I'm telling you. You go in there and it's like, I ask everybody, like, I know this, that's why I'm here. But I came in solo, right? It is not me. I also say that the grace of God counts. I'm a staunch Christian. So, yes, be prayerful, but action, work on yourself.
Right.
And also trust in what you have. And after coaching, I feel people get coaching and their confidence actually is a bit up because they have spoken to someone who is already in the door and they go out there and they sell. So it is not all jobs that are recommendations. There are some genuine ones. Sometimes you may meet someone and the person will say, oh, Lydia can do this, let's put her on the spot because of your engagement. There's something I always call your elevator pitch. And I always let your elevator page be your CV page or interview page, right? So let's say I have only 1 minute. I meet you in a meeting. You are passing through. What do I say that you go sleep and you are remembering, or you are asking, oh, that lady. That is something we have to build upon as graduates. So have a pitch, what you can say in, let's say a sentence that somebody will just go and be still thinking about you. I learned this the hard way from, I think, after school. And it has really helped me. I introduce myself. I say one key thing and you go and you are thinking, hey, when I don't remember your name, but you are the lady who said this. Yeah. So
can you pitch? Can you do one right now?
Okay.
I'm putting you on the spot.
I know, right? So my name is Lydia Kwesi. Nice meeting you. I am a career coach. My main aim is to help job seekers navigate through the job market with ease. Over 1,000 jobs have been prepared and made free for students and graduates over the past 2 years. This have been done through CV review, CV webinars, interview prepping, and all that. So yes, give me 2 years and I'll be able to help over 2,000 job seekers excel in the job market.
So with this one, who are you talking to?
I'm talking to anyone I'm meeting who want to know who I am.
Right.
So the person goes and says that the lady who says that I should give her 2 years and can push like 2,000 job seekers to the job.
To the job market.
As simple.
I see. So how do we learn? So we have to draft it and all of that.
Yeah. So the best point of contact is, what you do. What are the 2 things that you think it's bigger or it's high? Just put it in a sentence. If there's more than 2 or 3 sentences, shorten it, make it a bit brief, right? And then you practice it. Practice makes man perfect. So let's say You say it, you look into the mirror so that you don't look that serious. And then I always say that own it. It's your brand. Own it.
Okay.
If you check my LinkedIn profile, I say I help job seekers navigate through the job market with ease. That's it. That's me. You don't see that on anyone's profile. There are lots of people there, right? So yes, you do that. You pitch it, you practice, and then you own it. So when you are sleeping and I tap you,
you should be able to do that.
Oh, hi, who are you? Just do that and you'll be free.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I wanted us to talk about entrepreneurship a bit.
Yeah.
But just before that, I want to take you back. Now, when we're talking about people knowing what exactly they want and all of that, this question came to mind. In this economy, should graduates accept any job? Because I know there are not enough jobs, as you said.
Yeah.
Should they accept any jobs, or they should they should be strict and stick to a particular career path?
You know, one thing I always say is that when you finish school, you are just testing waters. It's only few who knows that I want to become this and they become, right. From the word go, especially in Ghana here. So you are testing waters. For me, I tested waters. I was a valuation officer for an interior organization.
Okay.
I work as a sales engineer for an engineering firm where I was only the lady without an engineering background among the engineers, right? I did few of that. Before later, I think the HR traveled to South Africa, and then they all voted that Lydia should be acting in her stead.
Wow.
I acted. Within 2 weeks, I was made the general HR. That was where I discovered that this is it.
This is what you can.
Right. So sometimes you have to try, build upon the experience. Someone have had more than 10 years experience doing marketing, and the person says, me, it's HR I want to do. And I ask the person, why do you think HR is what you want to do? The person is not able to explain in a very wow manner to me.
Right.
And I tell her that, you know something, I believe that there's something about marketing that is relatable to HR. I have done marketing before. I have done sales before. I have done quotation, valuation before. And so as an HR, I am able to do my own, personal branding.
Right.
I'm able to do my own selling. You know, I can teach you how to sell for my organization, right? Because I have been there before. If I haven't gone through trying all those things and now getting to where I want to professionally build, will I be able to do that? I'll be just one-sided.
Right.
Okay, so sometimes you give yourself 3 years, and then most jobs are sometimes relatable. If you are doing administrative work right now, you can do it, and if you have the love for people, you can also venture into human resource.
Okay.
It will help you become a good HR administrator because you have done administration and people together, right? Yeah, sometimes if you are good with IT and you are also good, you want to be in PR, it helps you because you can build on IT and then create more awareness because it's relatable. You can relate it to what you want to do.
Right.
So sometimes you have to try, but don't be there for more than 3 years. By that time, you should be able to discover actually among all that says what you really want to do. And then start with your career. I got to know that HR is something before I certified in HR. So I'm a senior professional in HR.
Oh, wow.
Before, I'm also a member of Ghana Human Resource, the Chartered Institute of Ghana. Yes. So I did up to a certain level, and I said, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. So let me just stamp on it. Let me go seal it.
Right.
So that, I have my badge.
Right.
I can, use it, engage on public and all that.
Right.
So you have to just do to a level. I always say that maybe sometimes you have done more than 10 years before discovery. It's not too late. Don't think that you've wasted 10 years. Ask yourself, what I have done for the past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, how is it relatable to my new discovery?
Okay.
How do I bring it to make me stand out? Because you may have that someone has been in that industry for 10 years but do not have that combination.
Right.
And capitalize on that and you are okay.
Right. Now, one of the options, the alternatives when it comes to career path is entrepreneurship.
Great.
But do you think everybody can do entrepreneurship?
It's not everybody that can do entrepreneurship, straight up.
Why do you say that?
The reason is that entrepreneurship emanates from passion.
household.
Yes. So let's say you want to do you want to be in made in Ghana wares. If you are not passionate about what you are doing, you are going to fail several times. It's not like you just start and you are blowing. Some starts, they want to even close up. I listened to Where Ghana CEO, and she said last year was one of the difficult times in her life. She wanted to shut down everything, but what even kept her was that what of the people that she's employed and giving hope, right? So entrepreneurship is not that easy, right? And if you don't have the passion for what you want to do, you will give up. You will quit. Okay, so if you don't have the passion to venture it, so you are not looking at whether you are making sales or not.
Right.
This is what I see it, and I will push it until I see the realization of it, until I see the impact of it, until I see the growth. So some start like 4-5 years, no profit. At 6 before they start, getting something. So sometimes you are now building test and trial. Oh, you give people samples, okay? They are not paying. You are giving, it's like 2 years you are giving samples. Until one day someone say, okay, Jack, let's give her the contract. So if you don't have that passion, and most of us are not even patient as graduates. Patience, we are not patient enough to wait for the thing to, like a child, to start from scratch, crawl, start working, and then now grow. We are not patient. That is why we can't even stay on a job for a long time. If the person realizes that it's not really working, like only time, that kind of thing.
Right.
So the passion is very key. If you are passionate, a lot of people will leave you on the way. You may start with people, right? As I sit here, I have not employed, but I have over 10 volunteers. Some are HR professionals, some are HR money. On my team, they want to learn and become better with what they do. Some even have more experience than I do, especially in practice, but they still want to learn. There are people that you start with, it gets to a time, you see that they don't want to, pull again. So when you start, you are the only one who see that vision.
Yeah.
You are the only one who knows that vision. You have seen the vision. And if the people do not buy in the vision that you have seen, at a point when things are not going well, they'll leave you on the road. But that is when passion counts, because you see the vision.
Right.
When you don't give up. So you don't give up whether everybody have left you. People started jobs in Ghana. You got to a time, everybody left them.
That's true.
But they kept it up. They keep moving. Now they are there. And those people want to come.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's just basics.
Thank you so much. I mean, it's been a great conversation.
Great.
We have to go. We have just about 6 or 5 minutes to wrap up. But just before that, I want us to talk solutions.
Great.
You are an HR person. You are a career person.
Yeah.
What do you think HR professionals and employers can actually do to reduce graduate unemployment?
For employers, we have to give everybody the opportunity. Okay, sometimes I may say that someone will say, I need this amount of money, but listen to the person and go on the negotiation table. Don't scrap it. Go on the negotiation table. Let the person know why you can't pay that amount and what you can give. People are willing to accept regardless. Okay, so for employers, yes. Secondly, salary structure. I see a lot of people not paid well, creating a good condition, working in condition for people, employees, so that they can, function and grow. Where there's flexibility, you don't have to drive all the way in traffic. Come and sit in the office and work before you are productive. At least you can work from home, hybrid, that kind of environment, so that employees can also do other things to support themselves and grow and still be relevant on the job. Right. So these are some of the things. Training, development. What can you do? I come to your work. I have this kind of expertise or experience. I go even lower than when I join. Annual training, monthly training, helping them develop themselves to be more relevant in their space. Now, entrepreneurship. We should encourage entrepreneurship support, especially for graduates. I see entrepreneurship helping solve most of Ghanaian undergraduate problems and challenges. So let's say in the schools, let's encourage them. Let's have this innovation hubs. Okay, let's have this entrepreneurship hubs where we coach them, we help them, so when they are done with school, they can come out and be successful. Start something on their own. Albert Einstein stated that, right? I said, I am grateful for anyone who said no to me. Because they said no to me, I did it myself. Right. So yes, some will be no, we will not get jobs for everybody, but with entrepreneurship training and all that, some will go out there and do it themselves and also employ other people to join in. Yeah.
Lydia Kwesing Ajay. Great conversation. Great conversation. I'm super grateful that you came. But maybe your final words.
All right. So my final words is that graduates, it's not everyone you see out there that is there because somebody recommended. When you work on yourself, when you develop yourself, when you prepare yourself to meet opportunity, when the opportunity comes, you will excel. So don't give up. If you are in school today, make sure that aside the academic curriculum, you are engaging in networking issues, networking problems and challenges, so you can also build upon yourself and excel on the job market. Now, work on that CV, get tailoring, get career coaching, and you will be good. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Can you want to put out your social media?
Yes.
Somebody
so
want to get in touch with
on LinkedIn, Lydia Kwesing Ajay, Facebook, Lydia Kwesing, Twitter, Lydia Kwesing, Twitter or X, Lydia Kwesing, Instagram, Lydia Kwesing. Get Your Answers Consult LinkedIn, Get Your Answers Consult Instagram, Get Your Answers Consult Facebook. Please follow me on all channels. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lydia Kwesing Ajay. Lydia Kwesing Ajay is a career coach and also an HR professional. She's been talking to us on the subject of why young people or maybe graduates are jobless. And she's made us understand a lot of things. And one thing is very certain. She made one thing very clear, that a university degree alone is not enough. You need to get the knowledge from the university. And the job market is also changing. And so must we. We must be able to adapt to the changing markets. And graduates need to be more flexible and more skilled. And you mentioned soft skills, really, and also more productive. Employers too have a role to play in training, in development, and also mentoring younger talents. A huge thank you to you.
Thank you.
Lydia, we're grateful for sharing such valuable insights.
Thank you.
And of course, thank you to you, our listener, for staying with us throughout this conversation. Make sure that you continue the conversation online. So please engage us on our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and X at ZFMGH. We'll do well to take note of all of that. But until next time, please stay tuned, stay informed, stay proactive, and keep chasing those opportunities. This has been Business Breakfast on Zed with me, Nitrebi Hammond. We are back again on Monday for more interesting conversations. When you think Ghana, please think Zed. Up next is The Brighter Side with NYA The Brand.